Hi guys, welcome to the new video. So here we are going to make another gRPC service, but this time we'll be going little advanced, like we'll be making a simple but little different. We'll make a different service, then register it into our gRPC, and we'll also make a C# client. I'll try to go through the basics so you don't even need to like have anything on it. We'll go step by step so that you don't face any problems. So code it with me, and I'm pretty sure you can do it without any problems. So as you can see, I have opened Visual Studio 2022, and if you see the recent project templates, there is already the gRPC template present. But if you cannot find it in your like Visual Studio, just search for gRPC and you'll be able to find the gRPC service. Just click on that and just click on next, and it should take you to that configure project page where you need to configure your gRPC project. So just choose the location that you want to give and the project name that you want to give. So since it's going to be like restaurant management, we will be adding others and like removing others, then bill payment. So we'll be adding functions like that. We won't make it much more complex, but we'll add only few dummy functions, one or two, or maybe three to four maximum, not more than that. And we'll see how it works. So here you can see you can configure your project for that .NET support. You can go for .NET 3, .NET 4, and many more. If you click on the drop-down menu, you can see there are multiple options that you can choose. But I'd always suggest to go with the latest version because it's updated and all the security patches will be available if there is something going on with that. So let's go with .NET 8. And as I tell go ahead with do not use top level statements. That's for me because I am kind of comfortable with that. You can uncheck it and go with the top level statement also. Let's click on create and watch the magic happen. Most probably our project will be created. So as you can see, the project is already created. Let's go to the Solution Explorer, and Resto gRPC is there. Uh, Let me take a quick turn to explain you all the files. It will be pretty quick. So launch settings.json. Here we define the application URL. So if you can see, we have given two URLs, that is HTTPS 7187 and 5066. So and if you go back to here, let's see what are we configured. Since here the logging is being configured in app settings.json, let's check the proto file. So grid.proto file is already there, and as I explained you before, the syntax is going to be proto3, namespace is resto grpc, package is greet, service is greeter. So you can see the RPC saying say hello, request returns hello reply. So hello request is nothing but the request body or the parameter that the function say hello is going to receive, and it's going to return a data structure of hello reply. Hello request is nothing but the data structure of a string, and hello reply is also nothing but a data structure of a string. So this is about the greet.proto file, nothing special here. Let's go to greeterservice.cs. So it inherits the greeter service base and inherit and like configures the logger and just going to return whatever the name you give as the request body. Like if you give the request body as black hood, it's going to return as hello black hood. So that's how the service is defined. Uh, and let's go to the program.cs. If you can see, so here they have added the grpc package, and moreover they have mapped the grpc service here, and there is a special line that says communication with grpc endpoints must be made to a grpc client. So as usual, we don't need this. Will just write if grpc is running enough. So let's build a program. We should be able to build it without any problem, and we'll see if the service is working really fine. Let's wait for it to build. Okay, we have successfully built our project. Let's start it to see if our gRPC is running and up. It should show this whenever we go to the localhost service that's up and running. So come here, let's see if we're getting some error. Most of the cases you won't get an error, but in case the port is used by some other service, in that case you may face some error. So yes, we can see it is available and it is listening on localhost, but since we have, if we'll go to the 7187, let's wait for it. Yeah, so as you can see, our gRPC service is running and up. We don't need this anymore. Let's close this. Let's add another protocol. Okay, let's edit. Add new item. Just choose a new item. A pop-up will come. So let's see if they have the template for protofiles. I don't think they should have, but let's see. Yeah, they have the protocol for file. So it's the protofile. So we are gonna have it something like, let's say, restaurant restaurant management. So we define a protofile. Let's say restaurant management.protofile. Let's edit. So we'll be having another C. If you see, the proto and the syntax are same. So the next step is, if you see, I'll just bring the greet.protofile next to it so you can compare and see how we are going to make. If you see, they have the package of greet. So okay, so we have the restaurant management.protofile here. So let's write a service now. So we'll be writing a service. Let's say service. What should we name the service? Let's name the service something like resto service. And here we have already defined. So we are going to have two things, get resto. No, but we need to define two procedure calls. The first will be add customer details. So this will be add customer details, and then we'll have get customer details probably. That looks good, right? For customer, we'll get something like customer details request. So that's the body of the customer details, and for this we'll have nothing but something. Uh, Forget customer details, and we'll have something. We need some data structure as input to give the output, right? Let's give it customer detail response. That looks good. So it's either going to say, okay, you are right, or like, yeah, successfully saved or not. And similar way, we'll have like get customer details, a customer details request, and customer detail response. Customer details has been saved. So let's have something get customer details. Mm, get customer details. This will have the ID of the customer or the table number, and we'll have something. Let's say we'll keep it as a request body to know that it's a request body, and to get a response, it will be get customer details. It will return the customer details, or we can return the bill also. So, but we'll return the customer details for now. Get customer details. We'll just add the bill also in his food if it is there. So let's go ahead with this, and okay, let's define this. So we have already defined the services. Let's define the data structures. So message, customer details request. Okay, that looks good. Name, email, and phone number. We'll add something with the unique identifier that is string table number. So every guy is gonna have some table number or ID, table ID or table number. Almost this will be our unique identifier to get the bill. And let's define the other message. So message customer details response. if it is successfully fetched or not. Customer, it means like if successfully saved or not. Successfully saved or not. Let's say we have another message body that's for get customer. So we have from the table number we get, and let's say message of get customer details. So we have this, so it will give us the table number and everything. For the bill part, maybe we'll do it later on. So we have managed this. Now we also need to write a service file. Just like the proto file, we need to write the service file too. So we'll just put it here. So we have this like this. So we just need to write another services file. Just go to services, add a new item, then okay, let's say services. So we have a services file, right? Not a services. Okay, since they don't have a services class, let's write a normal class file. So we have the class. Let's go. What name should we give it? What name should I give it? Like its first one is greeter service, so we'll say resto service. Greeter service or resto service. Mm, let's say resto service or restaurant management service.cs. That's nice. Now you can see we already have the namespace and it's already there, but this public class should inherit like greeter has a grade base, so we have restaurant management base. So let's include it. I think we need to have the same. Yeah, I think they have the same, so it should not be a problem. I need to properly compile it. Let's compile it. Okay, what is the issue they say is could be missing a directive. Okay, so we have the restaurant management.proto file here. So let's write a service now. So we'll be writing a service. Let's say service. What should we name the service? Let's name the service something like resto service. And here we have already defined. So we are gonna have two things: get resto. No, but we need to define two procedure calls. The first will be add customer details. So this will be add customer details, and then we'll have get customer details probably. That looks good, right? For customer, we'll get something like customer details request. So that's the body of the customer details, and for this we'll have nothing but something. Uh, Forget customer details, and we'll have something. We need some data structure as input to give the output, right? Let's give it customer detail response. That looks good. So it's either going to say okay, you are right, or like yeah, successfully saved or not. And similar way we'll have like get customer details, a customer details request, and customer detail response. Customer details has been saved. So let's have something get customer details. Mm, get customer details. This will have the ID of the customer or the table number, and we'll have something. Let's say we'll keep it as a request body to know that it's a request body, and to get a response, it will be get customer details. It will return the customer details or we can return the bill also. So, but we'll return the customer details for now. Get customer details. We'll just add the bill also in his food if it is there. So let's go ahead with this. And okay, let's define this. So we have already defined the services. Let's define the data structures. So message, customer details request. Okay, that looks good. Name, email, and phone number. We'll add something with the unique identifier that is string table number. So every guy is gonna have some table number or ID, table ID or table number. Almost this will be our unique identifier to get the bill. And let's define the other message. So message customer details response. If it is successfully fetched or not. Customer it means like if successfully saved or not. Successfully saved or not. Let's say we have another message body that's for get customer. So we have from the table number we get, and let's say message of get customer details. So we have this, so it will give us the table number and everything. For the bill part, maybe we'll do it later on. So we have managed this. Now we also need to write a service file. Just like the proto file, we need to write the service file too. So we'll just put it here. So we have this like this. So we just need to write another services file. Just go to services, add a new item, then okay, let's say services. So we have a services file, right? Not a services. Okay, since they don't have a services class, let's write a normal class file. So we have the class. Let's go. What name should we give it? What name should I give it? Like its first one is greeter service, so we'll say resto service. Greeter service or resto service. Mm, let's say resto service or restaurant management service.cs. That's nice. Now you can see we already have the namespace and it's already there, but this public class should inherit like greeter has a grade base, so we have restaurant management dot. Okay, so I think there is some issue. Why is this service coming as an issue? If you go to our profile, let's go to our profile. Okay, it's resto service, not restaurant management service. So we go back to our service. Let's rename this guy like this, and let's make it resto service base. One more thing, guys. So before, if you are not able to achieve this, you are not able to get the resto service base. Maybe sometimes when you add the new file, it is not set as prototype compiler. So just right click and go to its property. Here, if you see, we have the file. This is the for the restaurant management service.cs, but we need to check for the proto file. This, yeah. So let's see its properties. If you see, for me, it is set as protobuf compiler server only. And yes, so in any case, if your project is not working and you're not able to import the new proto file or the new service file, just go and check the proto file properties. It is set to be protobuf compiler server only. Then only it will work. Else it won't work. Let's try to build our solution. We still have an error that's customer details is not a message type. Okay, we have the same name as the RPC call function call name. So let's remove this. Let's make it response. This should resolve the issue. So we already have our functions defined. Let's try to build and see. Till now everything works fine. Yeah, everything is working fine. Let's go to our service. We don't need a logger though, but yeah. Let's do one thing. What we'll do is let's get the other service, and I'll just put it in parallel to this so we can see, and build programs parallelly. So we don't need the logger, so let's not get the constructor anymore. Yeah, we can have the constructor, by the way. And since what are the functions that we define our management is get customer details, so the customer details should be added in a list or something like that. Okay, let's build a, we need a class, say customer details class, so that we can have a list of that. Okay, let's make a customer details class first. So we'll just add a class. Let's say it's a class customer detail dot cs. So we have a customer detail and we should have some arguments. Let's go to our restro management proto. So name, phone number, and table string should be there. So there should be a data structure. So let's define the structure. So public string name, email, phone number. Do we have anything more? Table number, right? So let's not keep it. The table number should be a number, not a string. So let's make it 32. And customer details, we can have it public int table number. So that's we already have the this defined. So let's go to our this in constructor. What we'll do is let's initialize a list, right? We need to initialize some list. So let's have a private, let's keep it static, private static. We need a list of read only list of customer detail. Mm, let's say we'll just copy this line, we'll tab it. We don't need this guy anymore. Let's come here. We'll just define it here. So that's it. So we are going to have a global list, and here I'm trying to achieve it. Now what is the problem with this guy? Is not null here. Okay, let's not keep it static. I think, yeah, that is good. Looks good because the customer data class was not static, and then having a static variable was only creating problem for us. So let's not keep it as static because the customer data class, if you see, it's not a static class, right? So that's fine. So we'll have the customer details, and let's now like override our functions. So it's already there. So let's override the first function, that is add customer detail. Let's go to add customer detail async. That looks good. Let's see what is the problem we have here. Okay, customer detail request. Okay, let's close this file. Just- So name, email, phone number, and table number will get, and then we need to return the customer details as response. Okay, so here we have. Okay, we don't need to reply the request, but instead we need to return a message that is, let's say, successfully. No, we cannot write it in this way. We have to define the function. So let's not write it this way. So here we have to write it something like greeter services we were doing. So from task, from result, let's say this. It kind of looks good on this. We have everything fine. So ID, we don't have the ID and the forms, but we have the if you go back and see the profile, we have name, email, phone number. So name, email, phone number. Name is there, email is there. For instead of phone number, we have a phone number. So and we have our table number. So let's say table number equals to request dot table number. Okay, so this method is throwing error. Let's go back to our profile and see the name. Is the name is matching? Yeah, no, the name has a detail, so the name is not matching. So let's go back there. Okay, still we have an error. Let's look for the part. Okay, it's customer detail request. So let's go to here. We have customer detail request. We have customer detail request, and the return type is customer details response. So let's go back, and the return types is customer details response. So now the signature is right. Okay, we won't be able to edit because customer detail list is of type customer detail. So let's fix the errors one by one. Let's define customer detail list is already a new customer detail list. Okay, let's not make it this way. Let's go ahead and make customer detail. So customer detail is equals to new customer list, but not in this way. Let's define the variables here. So we have this here. Let's go. I think we need these values. So this value should be added to the request body first. Okay, that looks fine. Now instead of this, add customer detail. That is fine. Let's fix this. And from new, what are we going to return? The return should be customer detail response. So new customer detail response. Now, what is the message that we are going to return is customer details added successfully. That looks good. I mean, so that looks good. Our first function, we have written it very nicely. Let's save and build it to see everything is working fine. Okay, let's wait for the build. Yeah, looks good. Let's write the other function. Public override. Public override customer list empty request. Let's delete all this for now. We don't need all this. So get customer details we have. So let's see. Get customer details. Guess this is the parameter it should request. So the request is get customer type detail request. Return is customer detail response. So let's go and fix this. Looks good, right? So now it is not returning a path. So the problem here we need to match the to the table number. So we have a list. Okay, so let's write the function. So we need to get customer details. So first thing that we need to do is get an entry if there is present. So if there is an entry, that is good. If there is no entry, there is a problem. So let's start where, let's say customer detail equals to, we'll write a query customer detail list first or default table number equals, okay, so this is giving an error. It's saying cannot be applied to int and string. So let's go to our proto file. Okay, we have the table number as a string, so let's make it int32 because everywhere we'll be using int32. So save it. Let's go back, and this line should be okay now. Okay, this line looks good. So once we get the value, so first we're gonna check if customer detail is null. If it's not null, we need to have something. So we return it. So as a customer detail response, we create an object, and this, in this case, else, what we're gonna do? Else is very simple. We just return, but not then this, but we return empty list in case there is some error. So let's make it like this. So that looks kind of good. So that's gonna give us the required parameters that we need. So let's see the other function. Do we have any other function defined? No, we only had two functions and we have defined. Let's control delete. We have an expected where, so it's expected here. So let's see, everything looks good. Good, good, good. Okay, this function we have not given it here. So yeah, that's good. So basically, we have written a service perfectly well, and everything looks good. Let's build it. Let's check if I registered it in the program.cs file. Yeah, I already registered it. So if you didn't, do register it here. Otherwise, it will not work. So let's start it. First, we'll be checking via Postman if it is working really fine. Then we will move to we'll make a C# client and check if it is working fine or not. So as you can see, our gRPC service is running really well. So let's close the debugging and let's go to the Postman and check if everything is working fine. So hi guys, we're already in Postman. So if you see, if you go to the service definition part, you can, okay, let me show you first how you can create a new gRPC call. You need to hit new and just select gRPC, and then you will be on this screen. So I already have it, so I won't click on it again. And then go to service definition tab, import your protofile. You can import the protofile, choose the file or put the URL, and once you're imported, you can select the functions from here. So for example, the first function that we are going to check is add customer details. Let's go to the message, and uh, here we can have the definition. So let's see, the first is the name, so let's have the name. So it's dev help. So the second we want is email, is dev help at the rate rs, sorry, rs under rs youtube, rs.youtube.com. Or that's fine. Let's add the next parameter after the email. What is the phone number? Let's say +22 456 789 192 1. So that is more similar. Let's go ahead. And the last one, that is a table number. So let's say it is having the table number of 153. We are having a really big restaurant, right? And let's finally run our gRPC service. So we run our gRPC service. Okay, our gRPC service is running and up. So let's copy the 7187 and let's go back and go to our Postman. Again, if you don't have a Postman, don't worry, we'll be building a client, so it should not be a problem for you guys. So let's invoke it. Yeah, if you see, customer details have been added successfully. Let's duplicate this call. So instead of this, We'll just send the table number in this case to get the customer details that we added. So get customer details, that should be fine. Let's see. Oh, I think we have some issues. It's not being reinitialized and the details are coming as null. So let's go back and see what is the issue. Let's stop debugging first. Okay, so what is happening is getting updated every time because every time the constructor is being called. So let's make it a static one so that if it's a static, it's going to initialize only for the first go, and next time it's not going to initialize. That's the property of the static keyword. And let's add this there. It should work now. And of course, we just comment down or delete this line. So that is good. Mhm. Okay, everything looks good. Now it should give us the desired results. Let's save it. So I think it's up and running. Let's go here. So let's make the first customer call. Let's have the same entries. Let's add it again. The customer added details have been added. Now let's go to the message and let's fetch the table number. Okay, we are returning the table number. What if we have a different 155? Ah, no details, right? So let's go back to customer number and let's say dev help 2 and let's make it 155 and that should come dev help 2. Customer details added successfully. Come here, try for 155 again. Now you have the details. So that's how the service is ready. Our Postman looks good. Now we'll create a C# client. So let's stop it and let's run fast to make a C# client. If you haven't watched my video, just go to the GRPC playlist and you will see a detailed video where we have made a client. So we'll be doing it here very quickly so we don't take much time. Let's create a new project. We need a console app, obviously. This, let's say, restaurant client. So there should be a C# client that will be responsible for adding details and like we'll add at least 5 dummy details and try to and let the user give the table numbers and let them fetch it, right? So that will be good. Let's make it in .NET 8 and our console app is ready. So first thing we need to do is let's write a function here. First of all, let's say mm, this is dev restaurant because it's made by a developer, so it's a dev restaurant. So the first thing is to create a grpc channel. So before that, let's add the nuggets packages that we need for the client. So let's go to manage nugget packages, browse. We'll be needing grpc.net client. So we add it. Let's wait for it to install. Let's hit apply. Then we need google.proto. So here we have grpc.tools and google.protobuf that we're looking for. We'll be needing it for the client. grpc tools will be needing it also. It looks good. So we already have installed 3 packages that are required for us: google.protobuf, grpc.net.client, grpc.tools. Let's go to the program. Let's create a channel. Where channel, that is for the address. What was our address? 7187. Let's copy it down. Let's create a channel. Okay, so and once you have created the channel, we need to create the client. So let's create the client. Now we have the rest of the service. Okay, first thing first, we also need to import the proto file here. So let's just copy the bigger, let's copy the proto folder and just paste in restaurant client. Should be able to see paste here. Yeah. And now rest of service should be, let's say, let's go here. Restaurant management. This is there. Rest of GRPC. Let's go to the properties. We don't want it server now because it's in our client project. Make it a client only. Apply. Okay. C# namespace is, if you want to change, we can change the namespace also, or we can keep it the same, just import it. Now we have our service ready. Okay, I just build it, so just let's clean and rebuild it. Once we rebuild it, it should work now. Yeah, everything is working fine. It's taking the channel now. So once the channel is created, now first we need to create some dummy function. Let's say, let's add a function here after this. Let's say private. mm, So let's add something. Okay, so let's go to our profile and see the functions that we have. If we go to restaurant management proto, we have the options for add customer details, and it is going to take something of this kind. We need the class here so that we can create, we can just serialize the data and have it. So let's go to a class, private add dummy entries. What it is going to do, it's going to private void add dummy entries. That's a function. We'll define it. Since it's not okay. Okay, let's start writing some random name and random code. We don't want the same names every time, so we'll just remove it. Name equals to, let's say, dollar underscore. This is the name. Let's go ahead with the next entry. That's the email. So that looks good, but we'll make it a customer@gmail.com. We'll have the after email the phone number. Let's say something with, but not like this. Let's make it 1999, and that will be dash something like this. So the next what we is going to have is the table number. So Rex, let's not say, let's make it 100. So this every time it is being called, it should add some random entries to our gRPC server. So we'll just call this. So this will give us this. This will give us this. I think very customer detail. We don't. I think we need to return the customer detail type. Control C, Control V, and let's return it. Return. Return customer. Looks good. So here we have our channel is ready. We have the data entries ready. So first thing, mm, console dot try adding 5 dummy customers. And first thing, we also need to see like what are the customer values that are being written, right? So I think 5 does customers. Then let's write a loop I less than 5, I plus plus. So here first thing will be right is add. We'll call the add dummy entries. Let's say where customer equals to and add dummy, sorry, control Z, add dummy entries. So what is the error there? Saying an object reference is required to start. Okay, let's make it static for now for easier access. So we have added the dummy countries, and now a call should be also made. So we cannot keep it like this. We need to make the call. So let's make the call. So if what we have to do is we have to do mm, where reply equals to client dot add customer. So that looks good. Is it add customer? Let's go to the profile. It's not add customer, but add customer details. Let's go back to our program.cs, add customer details, and let's go to management proto and customer details request is there. So that should be new customer details. It's okay. So let's make the new customer details. So we have the customer dot name, comma. So we have it here. So this is the reply. Now the reply will come as like if then console dot write line mm, customer added customer table number one. What is the table number is going to be? The table number is not reply to message but reply. I mean we need to have customer dot okay. Let's add a sign here. So customer dot we should have table number. So this should write it, and this loop should add 5 dummy customers. And after adding, we'll just let the user fetch the queries. Console.write line fetch customer details. Enter table number. So that looks good, and that should be enough. Let's go, and we'll get the number. So let's say int table number equals to console.readline. So we'll get this. Next time from is no more lines. So okay, int table number. I think we do have is let's make it var table number. That looks good. Var table number. Because in case, but obviously we are going to put the input as an int, so that's fine. Okay, after getting the table number, we need to let's querying the results, querying the GRPC service for table number, and now we make another client request. So we'll have to say variable customer details, new customer. No, we don't need to say this, but since it's an int that parse, okay, let's go back here and see. When you're calling it, we need to send get customer details. Get customer details. So that looks good, and after this we'll have the customer details. Now, okay, so this is gonna have, let's put it in a loop, right? Let's put it in a loop. Um, let's put it into, do this for the first time, every time, while while true. So this is going to be an infinite loop, and it's going to hit every time. But as long as we say break, we need to break it out also, right? So let's have a sentence here. Because constant you want to continue, press Y to continue. Now say I need to have a variable, say var response. While response is equals to capital Y only. In that case, only continue, else don't continue. So everything looks good. Let's run our program. Sorry, we need to set up, the we need to configure the starter projects for the service and the client to run at the same times. So let's go here, configure starter projects, multiple projects. Let's make it up. It should always start the first, and it should start without debugging. We don't debug it and make it start. Apply. Let's say we'll put that point here just for our purpose so that the service is already running and we are holding here so the channel is not created before that. Okay, we have an error. Let's see. Expected here. Okay. That looks good. Let's start. Okay, so if you see this is our screen and let's check the other screen probably. Both are empty, but our gRPC service should run. So why is it not running? I'm not pretty sure about it, but it should run, right? There should not be any problem with this. Let's close this guy. Let's stop everything. So we have multiple startup projects. Let's configure the project again. Hmm. Let's see if there is some problem now. Everything looks good. Yeah. So once I hit it here, let's wait. Let's see. So if you see the channel has been created and we are here. So let's just continue. So table number 19, 29, 37, and this is done. So we'll check for 27. Let's get the details. Okay, so it's customer 77 and some data. It doesn't look really nice, but yeah, is it? It's kind of working. So let's press 30. Okay, let's modify it a bit and make it look a little better. Okay, let's make it a little better. Say console dot write line. Let's make a space for this. At this, this will give us some idea how it is being added. We need a customer table number. This. So this is good. Let's copy this line. We'll need it. Control C. And let's go here. Control V. Let's, do you want to continue? That looks good. Let's continue again. And this time it should look really good. So let's come here. We don't really need this guy. And let's continue. So if you see customer number 94, 7, 9763, we have added so many. So let's check with each and everything. For 39, what's the details? You can see the customer details are there. You want to continue? Obviously, we want to continue. That's the customer after 39. Let's check for 97. And you see everything looks good and our GRPC client and service is working fine. So what did we learn in this video? We did learn a lot of things. If you see, we we used another Putter file to create another service, and then we made a C# client of it also. So I think this covers the basics of gRPC. So next maybe we can try making client for some other languages, some web-based clients. So we'll be working on that. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye. Have a good day.